right, a quick follow-up on last episodes about the Cardinals attacking their reflections in mirrors and windows. Well, it turns out this is a rather common occurrence, and it doesn't just happen seasonally like we had it here in our backyard. In many places, Cardinals continue to do this all year around. Sheila Siegel actually wrote back to me saying that her female cardinal attacks her patio windows all year round, and she actually had to cover the whole door to stop her from doing that. So of course, if you have this happening 365 days a year, you might want to find a more permanent solution than just installing screens on the outside or closing curtains. John Kronk actually wrote back to me, and he said that he is successfully using a product from a company called Kaleidoscape. So basically, it's a type of film that you can apply to your windows, and that cuts out the reflection. I was actually very curious, so I checked out their website and I reached out to the company. So they sent me a few pictures. So check it out. This is something that might help you with Cardinals attacking your windows all year round. And guess what's happening this week? It's the Great Backyard Bird Counts from February 18th to February 21st, and everybody's participation is greatly appreciated. All you have to do is count birds in your backyard for at least 15 minutes on one of those 4 days and enter them with eBird. Dr. Bird will be counting in Baja, and of course we'll be counting here in Quebec. So have fun, everyone. George from Ontario lost 2 downy woodpeckers to a hawk, and a month before it was a hairy woodpecker that the same hawk took. So now George is wondering whether there's something about downy hairy woodpeckers' behavior that makes them vulnerable to hawk predation, because he's got plenty of other birds in his backyard like cardinals and doves and juncos, but he's never seen them being snatched up by a hawk.
Hi, George. Interesting predation behavior by one or more hawks on your woodpeckers. 3 in a month's period with no similar attacks on your other backyard birds is certainly worth pondering. The only things I can think of are the following. First, perhaps the posture of woodpeckers, that is hanging vertically with their eyes looking forward to their food, might make them more vulnerable to an attack from behind. Perhaps even the noise of their pecking might dull their hearing ability. But that begs an important question. Why adopt a feeding or resting posture that's fatal in the first place? Second, the fact that you've lost not 1 but 3 woodpeckers, possibly to the same hawk, likely a sharp-shinned or a Cooper's hawk, might mean that the raptor has developed a particular search image for these birds and perhaps even a successful foraging strategy. The hawk would have to find a way, though, to counteract a woodpecker's typical response to any predator, aside from flying away, and that is a quick movement to the other side of the tree that they cling to. Perhaps that's not possible or useful on your feeder. As for why woodpeckers rather than cardinals, finches, or even doves, a coop's favorite prey, I doubt that they taste any different to a hawk. Sorry, that's the best I can come up with. Thankfully, hairy, downy, and many other woodpecker species are not showing any signs of declining numbers in North America.
Let's travel to the Tanimbar Islands in Indonesia, home to Goffins cockatoos. Remember, a few months ago we talked about them building tools to get to their favorite fruit. Well, these birds are so intelligent that their ability to innovate is just amazing. A new study conducted by the University of Vienna, the University of Birmingham, and the University of Veterinary Studies in Vienna involved a golf-like puzzle. So these birds were given a stick, a ball, and a box with a hole. Inside the hole, there was a trigger that had to be pushed to get to a cashew. And guess what? They had no problem solving the puzzle. The interesting thing is that some of them used their claws to hold the stick, and others used their beaks to manipulate it. Well, we might not see Goffins cockatoos on the PGA Tour this year, but it's still so fascinating to see how fast some birds can learn and adapt. If you haven't seen this bird before, perhaps the colors of my outfit will help you remember its plumage better the next time you see it. So today it's C for the common yellowthroat. Common yellowthroats breed pretty much everywhere in the United States and Canada. They go as far north as Alaska. In the winter, when it's not their breeding season, they have been spotted in Texas, California, and Florida. Males arrive first and females follow. In southern states, you can start seeing them as early as the beginning of March, and then by the end of May, their spring migration is pretty much over. Common yellowthroats are warblers, but unlike many other warblers, they're a lot easier to spot because they tend to hang out at eye level. So, in tall grass, in the undergrowth of mixed forest and bushes, in hedgerows, and etc. My first encounter with them was actually on a birding walk in May, a few years back. So we were walking the trail, and here they were, in tall grass, a whole bunch of them there. The next week we came back, and they were still there. And the week after, we could still see them. So after a while, they became quite common. And actually, after those bird walks, I started seeing them in our backyard because, as you might know, we leave a large chunk of our backyard completely wild. And that's where you will most likely see common yellowthroats. Actually, last summer, one of them, a male, flew inside our house. I was really worried that it would get hurt, so we had to open all the windows, all the doors, take the screens down to chase it outside. So I hope it was okay. But Dan Hutchinson shared a few pictures of common yellowthroats that he took in British Columbia, and he found that they were really bouncy and really shy and hard to photograph. Males and females look different. It's males that really stand out with their black banded mask and their yellow throats. Females are kind of drab with the olive back and yellowish throats. But I find that common yellowthroats have a very distinct beak. It's kind of long and pointy. So that's what I look for when trying to identify a female. You won't see common yellowthroats at your bird feeders unless you start serving them live bugs and insects. These birds absolutely love anything that crawls on the leaf or bark or hangs out in tall grass. So, spiders, beetles, butterflies, and grasshoppers, they eat it all. Common yellowthroats get busy as soon as they arrive at their breeding grounds. Males stay monogamous for the entire season, but females might attract another male with their song, and females have been known to fool around. However, it is females that do all the work. They find a nest site, they build a cup-like nest out of grass and other plant material. They place it actually pretty low to the ground, less than 3 feet. She lays on average 4 eggs, and she incubates all by herself. Occasionally, males pop in to feed the female while she's on the eggs, but that's not very common, though they do return to feed the young. The chicks fledge when they're around 12 days old, but they stay close by to the nest until they're about 31 days old. And a few interesting facts about common yellowthroats. They are nocturnal migrants, so when I ask you to turn off your lights in the spring and then in the fall, it's warblers that need your help the most. In the summer, if it gets too hot outside, females have been seen to stand on the edge of the nest, spread their wings to protect their young from too much exposure to the sun. And then, because the nest is built so close to the ground, not to attract anybody's attention, common yellowthroats tend to drop a food somewhere else, then land in another spot, walk to that food, pick it up, and then walk undercover to the nest to feed their young. I hope you got to do something fun for Valentine's Day. Just a quick reminder, if you win the grand prize, we ask you not to participate in any of our photo contests for the rest of the year. Now, let's check out the top 5 of our True Love photo contest. Here's the 3rd place and the 2nd place and the grand prize winner. Congratulations, everybody. March is showing off my best side. Well, that's it. That's all for now. Have fun counting birds this weekend. I'll see you all in 2 weeks.